Alright, I'm going to tell you everything I know about quarterbacks. Pass tech determines whether you catch the ball. Uh, Pass tech and catching traffic, receiving consistency, pass consistency. Those are the basic things that determine whether you catch the ball or not. So as you can see, pass consistency and technique are both maxed out. Heart is a modifier to that because it affects all technical skills, whereas conditioning, for example, affects all physicals. So you take heart as high as you can. Conditioning affects it too, but it's more of like a pass power kind of thing. So yeah, you want max in those so that you actually catch the pass. Doesn't matter how well you do everything else. The base catching is not gonna be enough. Accuracy is important, but not so important that more necessarily helps. So 80, 85 range is pretty good for that. Pass power, you can go higher, but it can be a liability. Like sometimes, unless your receivers have enough receiving awareness, the ball will just fly by them, and it helps if you're targeting passes like 20 yards downfield. But that shouldn't comprise more than like a certain amount of your playbook. Maybe some games you'll use exclusively that, but you can adapt the build as much as you like. If you take more conditioning, that also increases your ability to throw over the course of a game. The further the pass, the more power it requires, but having high energy levels can make up for that. But generally speaking, at least currently, the way the game works, the physics of it, you don't need a ton of pass power. Pocket awareness, likewise, you don't need a ton of. Pass consistency is a stat that triggers anytime you're in a pressure situation, so it's third down, fourth down, goal line, 2 minute, being hurried, things like that. So if you're about to be sacked, you'll actually throw a better pass than if they didn't rush at all. But these two work together. You don't need pocket awareness if you have a lot of consistency, but it helps still. And specifically, we're taking it for the on the run ability. But I mean, honestly, a build that literally does this is is just as good. In fact, sometimes even better. So you can take pretty low pocket awareness and still be fine as long as you have consistency, and then you can put the other stuff in power, accuracy, or heart or whatever. Um, that's pretty much how you bet a quarterback. I always go leadership either maxed or close to it because it effectively is like putting toughness, conditioning, and heart on all the rest of the offensive players. So I mean, if you do tests and you compare a team with a leadership quarterback versus without, and you just look at play to play, like what the energy and morale looks like. Personally, I found that it was super good. So yeah, hard is a modifier to pass tech, pass power, pass accuracy, pass consistency, pocket awareness, all those things, pass awareness. So having heart literally as high as possible means your morale is really high, which multiplies all the skills that morale is in charge of, and then you win. So this is a pretty standard build. Pass awareness we keep low because sometimes the more pass awareness you have, the more quickly the QB will go through the reads, but you don't. Depending on your playbook, depending on your players, sometimes you want the QB to hang on a read as long as possible. So, depending on whatever you are running, yeah, that's how you build a QB.